2.2 million people were willing to pay to play college football 25 3 days early, and that amount that they paid was $100. So that's where we're at with that right now. I think it was also available on Game Pass, so I don't think it's a 1-to-1, 2.1 or 2.2 million people. But yeah, it's not just the Diablos for early access. It's also, the college football.
You know what the worst part about this is, dude? Yeah. Eventually, one of these is going to come along where that deal outpaces the sales of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen when, like, corporate game dev figures that out? Yeah, I mean,
we'll see you next time. Don't listen to the show, corporate game.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I think we see bits of it. But I mean, I have sat down and we've gone over all the different interesting ways that games haven't been monetized yet. And if you really sit down and think about what you could have to pay for in the games, it gets real scary real fast, especially when you start equating it to other industries.
Sure.
What they have to pay for their content. So, like, I think it's bad right now. And what you just said is terrible. But I feel like it could be a lot
this way.
worse.
One of the stats that came out, which was really interesting, is you remember when Riot released the $500 skin?
Yeah.
For League of Legends? They sold 2,000 copies of that in South Korea in 4 hours.
Right.
That's $1 million in 4 hours. And that's a really high budget item. So when you're talking about, I'm already going to buy this game and I'm going to spend maybe $20 to $30 more and I get 3 extra days of access so I can be more competitive, there's a lot of people that just won't bat an eye at that, man. Because they've been waiting for that game. They want that game to come out. It's 20 more bucks. And I'm going to be real with you. That's a McDonald's trip now.
Yeah.
$20 is McDonald's now. If you get a full meal with like a soda and fries, that is like $18 to $20 now for one person.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about this kind of stuff, a lot of people see it like that. They're like, oh, that's just McDonald's, whatever, I can just get it. I get to play 3 days early. Awesome. So there's a point now where people don't care about that. The general internet discourse that's going on with this, where we find it to be disgusting, is largely irrelevant to the companies because we're the minority.
Totally.
And I get that. I understand that. It's not going to stop me saying it because I think the business model is shit. I think it's disgusting. I think it's not something that I ever want to promote in our industry, and I refuse to be a part of it or do that for our games. But we're the minority. The general public doesn't care. And I think that is something that a lot of like hardcore gamers, a lot of online gamers don't realize, that we are the minority in that. And that's something a lot of people are going to have to kind of stomach.
Here's this exact week. There was a stat from ComScore's 2024 State of Gaming report, which was published in partnership with in-game advertising platform Anzu. 82% of U.S. gamers, so strictly in the U.S., made an in-game purchase in freemium titles in 2023. So that's where we're at. 82% of all gamers in U.S. purchase something in game for a freemium title.
If that counts mobile, I kind of completely understand that. I mean, one thing, especially for us,
I would assume it does,
as guys,
yeah.
As people that didn't grow up, like we didn't grow up being able to hold gaming computers in our hand. Like I remember vividly beating Zelda before school in middle school. And it was so awesome. Like I had friends crowded around my Game Boy because of how cool it was. This is the black and white one.
Yeah.
So these days, I think a lot of people don't realize, like my son, my oldest son is 7, and he has friends with full cell phones that play games on their cell phone. One of them plays Genshin at 7 on their cell phone. That doesn't work as a cell phone because the family hasn't hooked it up yet. He just uses it to play games and stuff. So it's like the idea, like at 7 years old, these guys are playing games that are literally designed to pull money out of you. They have psychologists working at these games to want you to pull money out. So yeah, that 80% thing, honestly, I'm almost surprised it's not higher.